saw Tan got in some bother. Supertanskiii, friend of the show. She got in some shit with the Canary last night. It's pretty funny. Like, if anybody doesn't know what the Canary is, I don't know how sort of, plugged in you guys are to sort of, left-leaning media and activism and all of that stuff. Well, it's a very left-wing, very socialist online magazine, I guess. They did some good stuff a few years ago, I seem to recall. I remember reading like some of their articles a long time ago, a few years back now. Anyway, they posted a thing, quite bizarrely attacking Tan. Because at the time, this was the budget, right, a couple of weeks ago, she said that she hadn't heard much in the budget that would, and I think I'm saying this right, but don't quote me, she hadn't seen much in the budget that would detrimentally, like, hurt regular people, right, was the general vibe of it. But the Canary sort of called her out as though she was overlooking disabled people or something, which is, like, I don't know what their problem is with her, really. Like, I don't know if she doesn't love Corbyn as much as that guy. I don't know if that's the problem. I don't know if they have some sort of personal issue with her, but that seemed really weird to me. Maybe you guys in the chat, something else, or you're interpreting it differently to me, perhaps. I don't know, but that seemed kind of odd to me. Like, it seemed a bit desperate, because it's like she's basically saying, what is she saying? She's saying, this is a good budget and it's mostly hitting the wealthy who can afford it, right? That's basically what she's saying. And the Canary's take on it is like, but what about disabled people, though? You didn't mention disabled people. It's just a bit strange. I mean, I assume that both Tan and the Canary probably both want the super wealthy to pay more tax, to shoulder the burden. There's Tan saying, like, I think this is a good budget. I think it will detrimentally hurt working, like, regular people less than it will hurt the super. But you didn't say anything about disabled. What about disabled, though, Tan? You centrist. Like, no, she doesn't even care about disabled people because she didn't say it explicitly. The words were not in her tweet, so she obviously, thereby we can conclude that she doesn't care about the thing that she didn't specifically say. Like, is that the fucking level that the Canary are pitching at now? Is that, like, are we just taking what somebody says and then lambasting them for the thing that they didn't say? We just, well, what did she not say? Because I think that could be a funner attack line, guys. This is supposed to be fucking journalism. And then, then they called her a grifter, which is always fun, right? They're like, she realised she has a Ko-fi. She has a buy me a Ko-fi tip thing. It's a bit like a Patreon, but she has a buy me a Ko-fi thing, like where people could send her tips. Like, oh my God, really, does she? And is that a problem now? Is it only a problem when it's not the Canary saying, like, please would you subscribe, please would you support us? That's not grifting? I'm just checking when it becomes grifting. Is it only grifting when it's a content creator who happens to be female delicately asking, if you're in a position to, would you like to tip me occasionally the amount for a coffee? When does it stop become grifting? I think we'd all like to know. Like, honestly, man, like this obsession, and it truly is an obsession for some people out there. This obsession with calling her a grifter is utterly fucking ridiculous. It's so tedious. I don't know. Anyway, so evidently somebody reported this tweet and the article that it was sharing because well, I guess, I don't know who reported it, but I guess that the insinuation that she is a grifter, it could be construed or misconstrued as defamatory. Because it could be I'm not saying that I'm saying that it is. Treading very carefully here. But it could be suggested by someone, like somewhere out there. It could be suggested that a grifter is a sort of con artist, couldn't it? That could be a reasonable interpretation of a grifter. So if you called somebody a grifter, I mean, and on top of that, if you suggested that they didn't give a shit about disabled people just because they didn't explicitly say that they do, if you leapt to that conclusion and called them a grifter, I don't know if that would put you in a particularly good financial position, to be honest. I mean, other financial advisors are available. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just saying, if that was me, if I had said those things, I think I'd be I think I'd be troubled. I think I'd be in a period of reflection right now, possibly. So somebody reported it. I don't know who reported it, and that is the God's honest truth. But honestly, like it kind of made me laugh because then they are like after it had obviously been reported, after someone had made some sort of communication to them, then they posted this other sort of response to that. It was a sort of half-assed apology, which I've now got up on the screen. I mean, half-assed apology I think that's a fair description of it, where it's obvious that they really don't want to apologize. And they say sorry for any hurt or distress caused, right? But they go out of their way in the apology to point out the Ko-fi link, the Buy Me a Ko-fi tip link in the apology. Right? So it's obvious they don't really want to apologize. And I was laughing earlier about this. Now, the reason I found it so funny is like not to laugh at them for getting themselves into legal bother and possible, defamation suits or whatever it might turn out to be. But like, it made me laugh because these people are so fucking desperate, or seemingly so, to prove that Tan is making too much money out of politics. They are clearly willing to defame her to ostensibly buy her a fucking flat to prove it. Like, she's making way too much money out of politics. Is she? Yeah, look, we defamed her and she walked away with £250,000. Like... Just another morning here.